Thousands of people are in the capital honouring those who were killed during last year's crackdown in Maidan, or Independence Square. Let's bring in senior international correspondent Fred Plietgen. He joins us now on the phone from the Ukrainian capital. And Fred, the Maidan uprising was the concentration of everything anti-Russian. Is the same sentiment shared today?
Well, I mean, certainly among the people who are gathering today on the Maidan Square and who then went for a march down through central Kiev called the Dignity March, which is, of course, named after the revolution that took place here exactly 1 year ago, which they call the Dignity Revolution. There's no doubt that there's a lot of anti-Russian sentiment among those people. When you look at the people who are walking in that demonstration, a lot of them, of course, have Ukrainian flags, but a lot of them also have anti-Russian and especially anti-Putin signs on them, and it certainly is a big theme here. The other big theme, however, is that the leadership of Ukraine is calling for what they say is a European perspective for Ukraine. And one of the interesting things about the march that happened here in central Ukraine is that it was the Ukrainian leadership that took part. Pedro Poroshenko was a part of it, but also leaders of various European countries, especially Central and Eastern European countries. The Polish president was here, the president of Germany as well, displaying what they say is solidarity with the leadership of Ukraine. And of course, if you look at the protests here, the situation in the east of the country really does overshadow everything as far as that commemoration is concerned. Of course, there's a lot of thinking of the people who were killed in the events that happened here a year ago. But of course, what's on people's mind here right now is the situation in the east of Ukraine, the military situation there, Lynda.
And Fred, we did just hear from Nick Payton-Walsh in regards to the situation there with the ceasefire. What is the feeling on the ground there about whether are people optimistic that this ceasefire may work?
No, they're certainly not optimistic, and by any respect, the ceasefire seems more than shaky. There are some positive signs that appear to be happening. There's that the separatists saying that they're getting ready to withdraw heavy weapons to try and create that buffer zone, and certainly the amount of violence has gone down considerably. But in the areas in the east of the country, and not just the areas around Donetsk and Lugansk, there is still a big amount of destabilization that's going on. There was also a similar rally to the one that was held in Kiev, which was held in the town of Kharkiv today, which is in the east and has a considerable Russian-speaking population. There was a bomb that went off at that rally that killed at least 2 people, which is the latest that we have from the authorities there. 15 people were wounded, including 5 police officers. So that just shows that it's not just in the areas where there was fighting that there's still instability. However, many people also have big question marks whether or not this ceasefire will lead to a long-term calming down of the situation in the east of the country. And then, of course, people there have to get back together and try and get this country back on its feet and try and preserve this country's unity, Lynda.
Okay, Fred Plietgen, thanks so much for joining us on the phone there in Kiev.